Dear Applejack, how are things over in Ponyville, cousin? Seeing as how it's Applebug season and all, I figure you must be busier than a whole hive of bees. We're looking at our second harvest ever here in Appaloosa, and you can be sure we're gonna give Sweet Apple Acres a run for its bits. Speaking of which, thank you kindly for old Bloomberg. Since y'all and your friends brought him over for us, he's been putting out more apples than all of them. Guess he likes it here in Appaloosa. And to think, y'all were worried about him. Saw Big Mac and Granny here, checking us out for the big fair upcoming. Nice to see them both doing so well, even if it was to spy on us. And Apple Bloom too. She's turning out to be a sweet little filly. No doubt she'll be a real heartbreaker when she's done growing up, unlike some other Tom Colt I know. But nah, you've done a fine job with her, cousin. I bet your folks would be real proud. Still, I was a mite sad I didn't get to see you too, so I gave him this letter for you. Hope it finds you well and all that. I hope you and your friends can come up for another visit sometime so y'all can see how things are going for yourselves. Because of everything that happened, we never did get to enjoy ourselves very much. I had a lot planned for your visit too. Remember that rodeo game we used to play as foals? I was sure fixing for a rematch. Although, don't know if I'd be much of a match for a ribbon-holding rodeo pony like yourself, cuz. Speaking of old times, I thought you might like to know how that old mess turned out. Well, tain't a mess no more. Chief Thunderhooves and Sheriff Silverstar meet on a weekly basis for, discussions, which usually involve a whole lot of apple pie. Not to mention cider. Hoo-wee! Y'all should have seen the day we introduced the buffalo herd to that. Remember how they said they didn't like your friend Pinky's song? Well, you'd never know it the way they were singing it then. Nowadays, you can find them both at the Salt Block every Tuesday. Oh, and Little Strongheart? Well, she ain't so little anymore. Filled out nice, I guess, for a buffalo. Don't rightly know what's considered purty by buffalo standards, but I'd say she's sweet enough. Comes by every once in a while, too. Although, she seems to get tongue-tied pretty easily. Didn't have that problem when we first met. Wonder what could have caused it. By the way, you remember that one pony y'all were telling me about at the reunion last? That blue unicorn what was giving your friend Twilight trouble? Well, I recommend I met her not too long ago. Didn't put it together until I started writing to you, just now. Although, she didn't quite seem the way you described her, though. She said all this great and powerful stuff like y'all said, but then she'd turn around and apologize for it. Maybe it weren't the same pony after all. Said her name was Trixie. That sound about right to you? Well, whether it's the same pony or not, we had a heck of a show while she was here. You won't never believe what happened. Horse feathers, I'm still not sure I do, and I'm the only one who knows. See, this Trixie unicorn, she rode into town around afternoon in this rickety old wagon, set up her stage and had a magic show in the evening. No pony could go, though, except me. I didn't think it weird then, but every pony'd gone to bed early. I still had chores, so I was up late. Nice show, I thought. She sure did know her magic. After it was done, though, she came running up all panicky-like, going on about some shooting star pony or something. I didn't take her none too seriously. Didn't exactly make her happy, so she ran off out of town by herself. Couple hours later, I was done with my chores and heading to bed when I hear this hollering. Turns out to be this Trixie again, and the stallion she was with was making a racket in the middle of the night. Only no pony was waking up. This stallion, Hourglass, I think his name was. Trixie said he was her assistant. Well, this Hourglass fella tells me not to go to sleep, saying that if I did, I wouldn't wake up, like the others. Apparently they were under some sort of alien spell that wouldn't let him wake up. I know it sounds hooey, but this Hourglass fella, when he explained stuff, it sounded right. No matter how crazy he was talking, I just knew he was telling the truth. Well, the three of us started heading to Trixie's wagon to plan. They were arguing and fell behind, and then, well, I don't rightly know what happened after that. I blacked out. I think I saw some pony. Not sure if it was even a pony, but after that, it just black. Blacker than black. It was like some pony was holding me underwater, but I couldn't fight back. I couldn't move. I couldn't think nothing. It terrified me. I can rightly say nothing scared me more in all my life than that nightmare and nothingness. But then, I woke up. I was back at the barn, which I know I weren't nowhere near when I fell asleep, and everybody else was waking up, none the wiser. Just another day. To be honest, I was starting to wonder if any of it had even happened. But I couldn't find Trixie nor that hourglass fella. But sometimes at the salt block, I hear other ponies talk about the same nightmare as I had. And I wonder, cousin. I sure do wonder. Well, you keep an eye out for them two. Maybe you'll see them again before the fair. Then you can tell me all about it when you visit. And if you do, tell them, thank you, from me. Maybe it was just my imagination, but I think we owe Trixie and the doctor more than we realize. Oh, I mean Hourglass. He's a doctor too, though I ain't sure when he told me. Did he tell me? Huh. I can't rightly recall. Ah, well, you take care, cousin, and I'll see you at the fair. From Appaloosa, your cousin, Braeburn.